listen to the raw, sweaty scream of 70s rock and compare it to the icy, pulsating synthesizer of 80s pop. Suzi Quatro and Kim Wilde both sold the ultimate idea of youth rebellion to the world, but they approached it from entirely opposite directions. Suzi Quatro was born and raised in Detroit, sweating it out in the gritty local rock scene. Yet she struggled to get American audiences to actually buy her records. Then there's Kim Wilde. She gave us Kids in America, the definitive pop anthem of drive-ins and hot summer nights. She recorded it in rural England, and at the time had never even crossed the Atlantic. By the late 1970s and early 80s, American youth was no longer a simple target demographic. It had become a highly exportable product, capable of being engineered from anywhere on Earth. The engine behind both of these artists was a British producer named Mickey Most, the founder of Rack Records. Most understood that to sell the mythology of American rebellion globally, geographic truth was irrelevant. You only needed the right attitude. He executed a brilliant two-pronged strategy. He took a real American, moved her to the UK, and packaged her for the world. Then he took a British teenager and had her sing about an imagined America. Rack Records operated as a cultural mirror. They reflected a highly curated, synthetic fantasy of American cool back to an audience eager to buy it. In 1971, Most flew Suzi Quatro out of Detroit and set her up in London. He paired her with the hit-making songwriting duo Nicky Chin and Mike Chapman, ensuring she was always front and center with a bass guitar that was practically as tall as she was. While the rest of the British music scene was covered in glam rock glitter, Most and Quatro stripped everything down to a physical rock aesthetic, defined by her signature head-to-toe black leather jumpsuit. The formula worked perfectly across Europe, Australia, and Japan, where she sold millions of records. Yet back home, the American market largely ignored their own native rocker. It took until 1977 for America to finally embrace her, but they didn't accept her as a chart-topping musician. They accepted her cast as Leather Tuscadero, a fictional, nostalgic biker chick on the sitcom Happy Days. The American public rejected the gritty reality of an actual working-class Detroit rocker, opting instead to consume her as a safe, cleanly packaged television fantasy. By 1980, the music industry was moving away from the sweat and leather of 70s rock, shifting toward the sleep, machine-driven sounds of new wave pop. That year, former 1950s rock star Marty Wilde watched a television documentary about the vibrant, slightly dangerous youth culture in the United States. It inspired him and his son Ricky to write Kids in America for his daughter, Kim. This image shows the control panel of an EDP Wasp, a compact analog synthesizer known for its distinct, gritty tone. Ricky Wilde used this exact hardware, rather than traditional guitars, to build the driving, pulsating architecture of the track. To simulate the bustling energy of a foreign city, Ricky layered the electronic beats with urban sound effects, like road drills and passing traffic. They literally engineered a landscape of hamburgers and streetlights out of circuit boards and oscillators. Looking at Rack Records' two major acts side by side, we see Quatro's physical, sweaty rock reality against Wilde's icy, electronic escapism. The medium clearly didn't matter, as long as the fantasy was perfectly tailored to the audience. Despite her slow start in the States, Quatro's aggressive export back to her home country had a massive impact. She directly inspired a young Joan Jett to pick up a guitar and form the Runaways. Her dominance as a frontwoman also gave rise to the next wave of alternative bassists, encouraging musicians like Tina Weymouth to lock down the rhythm section for Talking Heads. Meanwhile, Kim Wilde's completely imagined British-made track outlived its 1980s origins to become the permanent default soundtrack for American teen media for decades to come. Kids in America proved so adaptable that it was covered by the raw punk band The Muffs for the Clueless soundtrack, and later polished by the Y2K pop group No Secrets for the animated film Jimmy Neutron. The parallel careers of these two artists reveal a simple truth. Pop music rarely relies on strict documentary authenticity. Its true power lies entirely in its emotional resonance. Through a strategic mix of leather, synthesizers, and transatlantic geography, Rack Records took the physical concept of America and engineered it into a globally exported state of mind.